Eric Tan, the head of international sales at Silk Development. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Avi. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Okay, Eric, so before we get started with learning all about the Silk Towers and Batumi and, the connection to the crypto community, can you please start by telling us about yourself and your role and, what inspires you?
Sure. So my name is Eric. I'm from Singapore. I'm heading international sales team for Silk Development. So Silk Development is a powerhouse behind Batumi's iconic Silk Towers. It's a 630 million US dollars mixed development designed by Kengo Kumar. It's going to be the future landmark for Batumi. It's a waterfront garden city with its own yacht marina and many other world-class amenities. So back to the most important question, what brings me here to Batumi? I tell you, Avi, because I'm sick and tired of missing out on all the good stuff. What do I mean? So I can say I'm old enough to say that I have missed out on all the good things in life, right? I missed out on Dubai in its early days. I've missed out on Bitcoin in its early days. I've missed out on Nvidia. I've missed out on Tesla. I missed out on gold. So when I learned about this opportunity, I studied. I learned that, geez, this is a real estate gold mine and I'm not going to miss out on this again. So when I told myself, the best way to be part of this thing is to be part of a great company. And that's why I'm here.
Got it. So you got the FOMO, as we see it in the...
It's more than FOMO. I have really missed out on all this stuff,
Got you. Yeah, it sounds great. I mean, if we can find the next Dubai, that's for a lot of people that know how the real estate market developed there, that's a huge opportunity for sure.
Absolutely. As I mentioned, this is a real estate gold mine, but to me, where many people have yet to discover, especially in Asia and the broader international crowd, right? And also to add on, my time here allowed me to observe and discover how and why Batumi become so lucrative, right? You see, many people from Israel, from Russia, from Turkey, from even Azerbaijan, from Lebanon, and the regional neighbors, they have already been taking advantage of this booming market and have been making money even much earlier than today. So, but they keep it quiet because, right? If it's a hidden secret, why why divulge it, right? So many people will keep thinking that, why Georgia? And it's always the mainstream media that paints a country in not so good a light. For instance, when I tell people, oh, I'm based in Georgia, Batumi right now, number one question is, where's Georgia? Oh, why Georgia? Isn't Georgia dangerous? Because a lot of people's impression of Georgia is like a James Bond villain's country. You know what I mean? But in fact, it's not. It's so beautiful here. You are living by the seaside. It's Batumi's nickname is called the Las Vegas of the Black Sea. There's so much activities going on here during summer, during the peak season. And there's so many international joints here, so many nice restaurants. You have nature, you have this, you have that. So yeah, that's my thought for that.
Yeah, a lot of people still even try to say similar things about Dubai, if I guess it's just from lack of knowledge, right? I've definitely heard a lot about Georgia over the years. So
have you been here, Avi?
Not yet. I haven't been yet, but it's a very popular destination where I'm from.
I would like to invite you, Avi, really. When you say the word not yet, I sense I have tickled the right funny bone on you right now.
We'll see for sure. So how do you, how does it intersect with the crypto community, right? If we have any Bitcoin holders, Bitcoin users that are listeners to us, and they're hearing this and they're thinking, okay, why should I think about real estate and specifically about Batumi? How does it help them in their portfolio?
Now, you see, when we talk about investment or investing in general, timing and entry price is two most important element. You get it right, you're in for a joyride. So Batumi is a very natural bridge for the crypto crowd, in my opinion. You think of it as your Bitcoin offshore vault, but with sea view, right? Because number one, the conditions, the tax systems, super investor friendly. There are no capital gain tax, no property tax, and it's so easy to open a bank account for foreigners. It can be done in as quick as 30 minutes. And for us, developers like us at Silk Development, we accept USDT for payments. And as a crypto investor or any investor who is abroad who doesn't want to travel, for instance, you RB, you heard about Georgia, you know it's good, but because of whatever reasons you can't travel here, but you want to be part of the certain projects, everything can be done remotely and safe. Now, moreover, you look at Bitcoin's volatility lately. Not saying it's a bad thing, but that's the way it is. Now, if you are able to use part of it and park it into real estate, of course, we know real estate has always been a brick and mortar and a safe investment vehicle. Not saying that you put all your eggs in one basket, but because the entry price, we are talking about 100,000 US dollars for an apartment here. So that's only one Bitcoin. So park 1 or 2 Bitcoin there, leave the rest of the Bitcoin to ride the wave of the next growth. Whereas part of it is in brick and mortar and earning stable yearly, monthly rental yield and capital appreciation. I think that is a good way to balance off your volatility and your portfolio because you are also hedging.
Yeah, that's a very interesting approach. Using real estate as your let's call it safe haven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in times of volatility, and obviously using crypto as your, let's say, growth engine, or your moonshot
Mm-hmm.
investment. Very interesting. Okay,
And
and
interestingly, Avi, sorry to
mhm.
interrupt, we have seen an uptick in buyers paying us with cryptocurrencies. In fact, just before we came on this show, I've got a China buyer who came back again to buy 2 units, and yeah, he transferred us payments via USDT. Seamless, easy, within minutes, it's done.
From your point of view as a company, does accepting stable coins like USDT give you an advantage that you see over just accepting old bank transfers or whatnot?
No, absolutely, because when we are able to accept USDT as payments, it shows to, of course, the crypto crowd that we are progressive, right? In a good way, progressive. And that we are keeping ourselves abreast of the trend and knowing the value of crypto because that's the only way to go, right? And we are also allowing the crypto community to feel safe as well because the payment is in blockchain, it's recorded, we are not a scam, and yeah, all the advantages. So I see it as a good thing moving forward. And in fact, there are more and more developers here also doing the same. And I also would like to encourage more developers to also follow suit because this is the way the world is moving towards anyway.
Oh, for sure. But it still takes, people with bravery and innovation to take the first step. So
No,
that's
I agree.
right. Hmm.
Yeah. But it's you see, RV, it's also not difficult nowadays. You have got exchanges that are reliable, Binance, Whitebit, and stuff like that. So set up an account in an exchange. Immediately you receive USDT, you can exchange for fiat. So I don't see anything bad about it.
For sure. For sure. I'm just saying that still some old businesses need to be educated about it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can you tell us more about Batumi, just for people that let's say they're from the US or Western Europe or Japan or wherever, which is farther away, and they didn't much hear about it before. What can you tell us and your experiences there?
Okay. First, Batumi is one of the safest cities in the world. Second, Batumi or Georgia is not what the media tells you. It's definitely not a James Bond villain kind of country, right? And third, it really is a beautiful country with its beautiful people culturally. It's so full of culture and history here. And Georgia is part of this original Silk Road where merchants from China walk all the way, right, to to Georgia. So it's like an intersection and melting pot between Asia and Europe. So you do see traces of that here throughout history. So Batumi itself, super interesting. It's a city by the seaside. It doesn't have a huge population, probably less than 200,000 people of locals. And during peak season, during spring, summer, that's where you have troves of tourists and super happening. You have parties, you have activities, you see people walking along the streets even till late night because it's safe and it's beautiful weather, and so many things to do here. There's lots of good food, and also if you know about this very famous statue called the Ali and Nino statue, this is where Silk Towers is located. It's just right beside. And other than that, but to me, I can't tell you more other than you experiencing this beautiful weather where I'm at today. So for instance, I'm just staring outside the window right now. It's super sunny, and at the same time it's at 18 degrees Celsius. Beach, there's some people suntanning, lying down, lots of greens, and we're looking at the backdrop, mountains, and during winter you can see the snow cap there. It's truly a beautiful city where it's a subtropical weather, so you can expect to have 4 seasons all year round, not super cold, but at the same time, good enough weather for you to be fashionable in winter and summer.
No, that's definitely a great selling point, the weather for a lot of people, especially if if you're considering Dubai. The main drawdown for a lot of people is the weather. So
Yes.
yeah.
So
But also some
Dubai,
people love that James Bond villain lifestyle.
are you one, Avi?
No. But I know a lot of people in crypto that at least the image they want to give out is they're driving a sports car and playing card games all night like they're some villain from a Bond villain. But yeah, it's great that you have the option to do that, right? If you have the money to invest in that type of lifestyle.
Absolutely. And myself, I see lots of opportunities here for businesses to improve or to bring certain concepts from where you are originally from, bring it here and do it. Or even if you are just a digital nomad or you're someone who's doing trading in the crypto world, because over here it's really so convenient. You have high-speed internet everywhere. You have good food everywhere. You don't need to be a multi-millionaire just to relocate here. And another thing is, it's visa free to, I think, almost 98 countries.
That's
So
amazing. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and also I'm not sure the actual numbers, but most countries have at least 90 days to 1 year visa free stay.
Yeah, I know that, including China, which is interesting because most countries they require a visa for Chinese tourists.
Yeah. So with all this, that the government is really opening up. They're trying to draw in talents from anywhere and everywhere all around the world without discriminating. Of course, when you're here, you observe the laws, you behave properly. That's a must. Other than that, everyone is friendly. It's multicultural. It's multiracial. Everyone knows they're here for something. I'm very excited about this. That's why, there's a saying, right? Getting rich is just like being in the rain, right? You just need to be where the water is at. And right now it's raining in Batumi, so to speak.
Gotcha. By the way, so what type of investors are you looking most at? Are you mostly approached by people that are interested in investing as a portfolio action, or people that are thinking about moving themselves, right? Either as digital nomads or part of the year to move there?
Oh, it's diverse, Avi. I've seen buyers of our project. All right, and now I do not have the stats for the other projects, but for our development, I have full transparency. So, for instance, the youngest buyer that I have is a 21-year-old guy from Asia. So he bought 1 unit for himself, purely for investment. Is he coming to stay here? Yes, during spring summer period, because as an investor, you are allowed a certain number of days pre-booked, and you can stay in your apartment for free once it's completed. And we have someone from Cyprus that approached us about 1.5 months ago. Now that is a portfolio play, where else is shifting certain part of his funds to be parked here with our project. And he bought a total value of $4.5 million with us. So you see, we have a 21-year-old all the way to who comes in with $100,000 all the way to $4.5 million US kind of investment. So, and you have all the in-betweens as well.
And what type of properties? Is it residential, commercial, or vacation rentals that you see most demand for?
Now, for our real estate, our kind of offering, it's only residential or vacation rental, or we call it apartment hotel or hotel apartments, which is very common and the most popular in Batumi because of the tourist numbers here. Tourists are increasing year on year. And the draw is the nightlife, the casinos, the nightclubs, the dining options, the beach clubs. And Airbnb is also good business here. We do see people buying more and more units, not in the city center, a little bit on the outskirts. Yes, city centers they are, but more on the outskirts because of entry price again. But again, if you are someone who is not based here and wants to get into this real estate game, it's better to allow a professional to manage it for you. So that's also the reason why we have our own rental management department or the company to do that for you, right? With a branded hotel, so that everything is up to certain standards and we are able to offer a 10 to 12% annual return, ROI, I mean.
So from an investor point of view, they don't need to, list their property and manage, like an Airbnb page or stuff like that. You take care of everything.
Absolutely. From A to Z, we take care of everything for them. All they need to do is to enter and be part of the project. From start to finish, we take care of it. We are able to guide them the whole buying process, the whole registration, meaning to say when it's registered to their name after they make the full payment, 100% foreign owned legally, freehold. And we even offer a 0% interest, 48 months easy payment scheme for buyers. So some buyers would like to, split their payments to once a year. Some want to do it once every half a year, once every quarter, or once every month for 48 months. So we are able to cater to everyone's different needs based on their cash flow plan, right? And then once it's completed, they sign a rental agreement with us, and we are able to manage the properties for the next 10 years, offering them a 10 to 12% annual rental return. And you think about it, it means for the next 10 years, they will get back the capital just through rental. But not to forget, capital appreciation is not added in there. So we're not trying to represent and tell you the sky that, oh, you're going to 1000x your investment. No, but you know what I mean. You can do the math yourself, knowing that 100% is more or less set within the next 10 years. And then with capital appreciation, the sky's the limit.
And can you tell us some more challenges or risks that international investors need to know about when they enter, Batumi's real estate market? And, obviously, how do you help them manage those risks and overcome any challenges?
You see, with all kinds of investment comes with risk. And the only guarantees in life we have is death and taxes, right? Unfortunately. But okay, back to the main topic. Now, there are many scams and frauds around the world. That's number one. You have to be very careful. Georgia is also no stranger to all this, right? It's not the only country that has that it can fall victim to scams or fraud. Many other countries does as well. So as an investor, you have to do your own research, do your own homework, and make sure you are only working with reputable companies. And don't get me wrong, there are many good developers over here. However, work with the great ones. Let me explain to you. What do I mean by a good developer versus a great developer? Now, a good developer, they build good products. They generate revenues, they generate profits, they keep shareholders happy by meeting all the numbers, right? All their projects meet the minimum requirements for safety, for materials, safety, fire safety, and stuff like that. And of course, their work is solid, but it's rarely innovative or iconic. And most of their projects are all their projects are cookie cutter projects. Great, good company, many of them around the world. However, what makes a developer great is that they create landmarks. They achieve the highest possible score in all areas. It could be fire safety. It could be, again, the kind of materials used and stuff like that. They create lasting products that last generations. And it's iconic where when somebody comes to Batumi, they talk about that building. It becomes that icon, that mark. They also aim to make that world a better place around them, right? And also, very importantly, the MEP planning. Now, a lot of buyers, and of course, people who are not on the inside like us, they look at the building on the outside only. But for us, we know that the mechanical room is equally important, because if the mechanical room is not planned properly, or the kind of engines they use, or generators, or anything that is MEP related is not of top quality, we know you're in for trouble, right? So take, for instance, for us, silk towers, we use granite tiles on the facade of the building as opposed to the usual metal cladding. Why? Now, it is more expensive and it takes more time to construct. We could have used the usual metal cladding and do a steel and glass and usual piling and build up quickly. However, the lifespan of usual metal cladding is between 10 to 40 years. And because we are by the sea, this is a seafront garden city, don't forget. You are subjected to the weather, erosion, the 4 seasons, and stuff like that, humidity. It's very, very taxing for the building. And that's why when you look at Batumi, many buildings age very quickly. Whereas the materials we use, which is granite, easily it lasts 50 to 100 years. It has got a wall garden feature incorporated to it. So in fact, with all these natural elements, the building looks better with age, and that it's not going to look bad, damaged, or look really, really old very quickly as well. So the architectural side of things here is very interesting for me, because it's a post-Soviet Union country. So you do see a lot of post-Soviet Union kind of architecture, brutalist, and then mixed with a modern minimalist kind of design. And some of them do it really well. And you do see tastefully done architectural or developments here. So these are the great ones. And as an international investor who is still not so familiar with Georgia market or Batumi's market, go for great projects, work with great companies, not just good companies. That is our word of caution. And of course, if you have the means, you have the time, come visit us in Batumi. We're always happy to host you and happy to offer a free one-on-one consultation.
Yeah, that's great advice. I'd say in any market, unless you're someone who's an insider that knows the market in and out, it's best to trust people that are, looking to be great at what they do locally. And you can trust like the quality on stuff that you wouldn't know to tell the difference. But if you can tell the people are dedicated to quality, then you can, rest assured that, you won't have problems later on, which you didn't expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, many a times, some customers, they don't really get it because they are not here yet. So all they can see is that, all right, I'm going to the internet right now and make a comparison. Oh, why is it that this person is posting the same real estate at a different price and a lower price? So chill, there are many fake listings out there. We know that. That's always an insider insider kind of sneaky tricks that brokers always do just to attract prospective buyers, right? But in the end, there's no such listing around. So the good thing about the real estate market here in Batumi is that it's not regulated yet, but it may bug other people because it's not regulated. But I look at it as a double-edged sword. And I find that it is to our advantage, because the more it's not regulated, the more professional we should be on our end. So it shows to the world that, look, we are always upholding ourselves to the highest standard. regardless whether the market is regulated or not.
Can you share with us any success stories of an investor that you worked with in the Batumi real estate market?
Sure. In fact, a couple of instances. Interestingly, we have a buyer from Israel. His name is David. So he heard about Silk Towers from a friend casually. And immediately he flew over to Batumi. We met, went through the whole 9 yards. He bought 2 units for himself. Yeah, so that's one. One in Silk Towers and one in another project of ours called Botanical. It's a ready beachfront, smaller development, but it's a very charming one with bigger units, and it's more suitable for family use, right? And now he's receiving an annual ROI of 8 to 9% rental returns. And next spring he's coming again to stay in his apartment, which is at Botanical, for the next 2 weeks. So he's diversifying his portfolio, and he happens to also own Bitcoin. So that's the reason why he came, because obviously he was happy with that previous this recent pump, right? And the good thing is, the moment he went back to Israel, he got 7 of his friends to call us, and without hesitation, they all bought 1 apartment each without even seeing it. And they say, we trust David, we're going to follow what he does, and that's it. And then circling back to the China buyer that was using crypto to pay us earlier. So Mr. Wong, he bought a unit for himself 2 months ago, because he knew that the price is going to be adjusted sometime next week, which is true. He called us. He said, I want 2 more units. How do we do it? I said, no problem, Mr. Wong. We do everything remotely as what we did for you previously. Transfer your USDT over, and we get the deal done. So what kind of success? I would say the success is we are able to communicate to savvy investors that, look, Georgia, although you may not be familiar with, but we have a very robust system. We have a fantastic product for you to park your money here and grow with us. And at the same time, every year, take a short holiday, stay in your own apartment. And at other times, when you're not here, it's rented and generating income for you, all without you doing anything, because we have the management company to help you take care of all this. You see, so this is not a too good to be true kind of an offer. It's not. But this is something that once you get it, you know that it exists. The entry price is really attractive. Some savvy investors just do it without any hesitation. So I would say this is considered a success story for us.
No, for sure. And there's definitely a lot of Bitcoin whales out there that, for them, they can buy 7 apartments, on a whim. But I mean, the prices sound, for somebody that's coming from, let's say, North America or Western Europe, the price sounds like a great opportunity. At 100K, that's even good for like a digital nomad, as you said, even as a residential unit for them, or just as a way to diversify their holdings globally.
That's right. You're right, Avi.
So looking ahead, how do you see the real estate market in Batumi evolving over, let's say, next 5 to 10 years? What should investors expect? What should they, watch out for?
Again, we don't want to say there's going to be a moonshot or stuff like that. Let's be real. And again, because of me staying here, I can tell you in the next 5 to 10 years, Batumi's face is going to change totally. There's so many major projects that is underway right now. In fact, if you have been reading the news, earlier this year, one of Dubai's largest real estate developer has announced that they're going to put in $5.6 billion of investment into Batumi, or into Georgia as a whole, Batumi included. So that's one fantastic news, and it boosts a lot of confidence as well, right? To people who are familiar with Dubai and knowing that this group is coming in with such amount of money. Next, because of the change and the completion of such projects, tourist numbers are definitely going to be at unprecedented levels, never seen before. Quality of tourists is also going to be different. You're going to attract a different crowd as well, as opposed to the usual, as I said, the regional neighbors that are coming to Batumi only. Now, Batumi has got low and high seasons. And the reason, of course, it could be weather, and because the regional neighbors have their so-called schedules, that's why it has created this high and low season. However, when all these major projects are done and when we have more international investors, say from Asia, from Americas, more from Western Europe, that high and low season lines is going to be blurred, which is good. So it makes the whole city very much more vibrant. And it's going to change the whole economy here as well, in my opinion, which is good for all businesses, is good for all investors, is good for all developers as well. That's how I see Batumi. Now, I'm not being overly optimistic. Again, because I'm here, I live here, I'm based here, I see things. This is what I can conclude. So I truly encourage anyone and everyone who is serious about what I have mentioned, who feels that what I've said has resonated with them, come to Batumi, see it for yourself. Let's chat in person. I'll show you some more insider news. I'll bring you to certain places, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You took them to the casinos?
Of course.
Nice.
In fact, our companies, we own casinos as well.
It's cool. Yeah. That definitely helps you get to know the market if you're, well diversified there in various industries.
You're right.
And what would you say is the most exciting opportunities in Batumi right now?
Wow. There's so many opportunities here that can be ventured into or that can be explored. It really depends on how big you want to play. That's also a question. But if you just have, as I said, you don't need to be a multimillionaire to be part of this. If you're looking at, say, okay, I just have a 10, 20, 30,000 to start with, take advantage of our payment plans. Come down with a 20% deposit, which is about 20,000 US dollars, and make a monthly payment of close to 2,000 US dollars every month, right? There's one opportunity and one way to be part of it. Now, if you want to play bigger, sure, buy more units. Come here, start some other business. So many things. The good thing, or rather the thing that I see here is that I'm sure the crypto investors are very savvy people, and probably most of them live in developed countries. Come to Batumi, come to Georgia. Whatever things that you are using right now, or you are used to, or whatever services, products, there is a market here. Even simple things, I see. A good hairdresser, a good restaurant, even a nice, cozy hipster cafe. This is our good business to start with. You want to play bigger? Buy buildings, buy hotels. You don't want to manage on your own? Come in with us. We manage for you. Park your money here, right? Sell it in the near future, make the profit, and go. Most importantly, it's easy to open a bank account here. It's easy to open a company here. The tax systems are great. So I hope it stays this way. And everybody wins. The equation is simple. Everybody wins. And that is really good for the country's development. And this is really how I see Georgia and the opportunity that's presented to people. However, you must be open-minded. You must be daring. Don't keep waiting. Again, back to myself. I've learned hard lessons. I've waited. I missed out on Bitcoin. What can I say? I can't turn back time. I can come in still, but at a different level. So same thing for people who wants to come into Batumi. You come in now, yeah, it may be the riskiest, but you have the biggest potential, the biggest upside.
That's great. Yeah, and I also heard that it's great for hiring people. And that's definitely going to help their local economy. If more people internationally, right, like you said, from China, US, all over will come to Georgia and, invest in real estate, and then they'll, want to develop their local businesses and, hire people locally. So that's definitely going to help the economy. I also heard about like residency options for people that are looking, if they're thinking about like a Dubai Golden Visa, stuff like that. So I've heard that Georgia has good offers.
Yes, and again, it's low entry level right now. It's 100,000 US dollars, and if I'm not wrong, it's going to be increased to 150,000 US dollars in the next few months. So it's still easy to achieve with just a property investment.
No, that's great. That's giving everyone opportunity.
Absolutely, Albi.
Okay, Eric, I think we learned a lot about Batumi, especially and the investment options. Where can our listeners connect with you to learn more about the projects and more about real estate opportunities in Batumi?
You can always email me, DM me on X. We also have our landing page and all the relevant links, which we'll provide to you, Avi, and I'm sure it's going to be in the description below. So feel free to hit us up. We'll be happy to help you with your inquiries. And again, as I mentioned, if you're coming to Batumi, let us know. We'll be happy to host you, give you a one-on-one consultancy, and to help you to see how you can be part of this interesting and exciting real estate gold mine.
Very exciting. Thank you, Eric. And we'll have all those links in the description below. And if you meet with Eric, make sure to tell him that Bitcoin.com sent you.
Of course, Avi, and we'll take a photo and send it to you.
Thank you. Okay. Goodbye, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Avi.